beautiful. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, my name is Alexis Jayda and welcome. Happy Mother's Day. I believe this is going up before Mother's Day or on Mother's Day. I celebrate both days, both Mother's Day, okay, May 10th, and then Mother's Day is on the 14th this year. Those are the yes, because I pushed out a lot of babies, so you got me messed up. Anyways, so I thought it would be really fun to do a giveaway, and for both the days I will be picking at random, and I will be announcing on here as well. You do not have to be a mother to win this Versace perfume. I'll be picking at random 2 giveaway winners. All you have to do is just like the video, leave a comment, and be subscribed, and I will be randomly just picking 2 giveaway winners from the comment. So I wanted to do a story time apart from the nanny series. A few of you guys have been asking me to do makeup story time, so I got you guys. You guys know I am traumatized from doing freaking makeup, and it's just, I love it taking clients. Sometimes I'll take clients here and there, but it literally, like, I have been traumatized just because of like what it comes with, and just it's a lot. So I will try to put 2 in 1 in this video. So sit back, relax, let me know what you guys are doing down below. I would love to know. I will be playing with some new makeup. I just received this box from Ipsy. Oh my gosh, you guys. It takes me back. It takes me back. It really, really, really does. Y'all, I'm gonna show you real quick. This is not a sponsored video. They sent it to me. I do not have to show it, but let me show you guys what I got, okay? They did give me my own special link, so if you want to use it, please do. You do not have to use it, but if you do, thank you very much. So let me show you guys this one real quick. So I'm gonna open up this one. I was freaking out because of all the good stuff in here. So we got some J.Lo in here. I've been wanting to try J.Lo for a minute. It says Tighten and Brighten. Then we got the Soft Glam. Mira. We got some Anastasia Brow Genius. We got some Glow Recipe. This is a gel cream. MAC in here. This is a mascara. Some Universal Pro Bio Moisture Boost Cream. Some Glow Juice. This box, I was just as excited. I was like, hell yes. This palette right here, I put everything back because I'm a weirdo and things have to be okay. Anyways, this is Iconic. I think I'm gonna be using this one today just because it's so freaking beautiful. Like, look at it. Oh my gosh, yes. Then we got some brushes, which are so freaking cute. The Trio Cotton Candy Set. We got some hydrating setting mist from Carr. This I'm excited about. This is a Dominique Smooth and Blur Setting Powder Translucent. I see her all over TikTok using it, so I cannot wait. And then we got some Coconut Coffee Scrub Exfoliate for Smooth Glowing Skin. I'm gonna be using that. Then we have this bag. So I was like, yeah, I'm so freaking excited, you guys. Like, I'm so freaking excited. Comes in the cute little bag. And here we have Jasmine Beauty Illuminating Highlighter, liquid lipstick. Look how freaking cute. These little babies. That's so cute. Eye Duty. Then we have the Skin Filter Serum, and we have a Velvet Skin Cream Blush. So this is Ipsy that I got last month. I wanted to show you guys. This box, oh my gosh, you guys. I was like, oh my god, I spoke it into existence because I've been wanting this. This is the Supergoop Daily Dose Hydra Boost SPF. I've been wanting to try it, and I got it. I was like, oh, if I did not manifest this, I don't know what. Oh yes, LYS. I've been wanting to buy this one for Sephora. It's always sold out, so when I got it in the Ipsy, I was like, oh my god, I'm so freaking excited about it. Can't wait to try it. I'm gonna leave this out so I can try that. This is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Heat, and it's Lemon Lava. I love when you get a subscription and it's actually like colors that they didn't just throw in there. Like, it's stuff that you're like, okay, I'm going to use that. Ooh. The Cab Cosmetics. This is a glow powder, French kissy. Then we got Tula Skincare in here, y'all. I was like, oh my god. So this is a So Smooth Resurfacing and Brightening Fruit mask. I'm excited, and that's what I got on my Ipsy, you guys. I'm so freaking excited. Let me know if you guys want me to just show you guys more of my unboxings when it comes to doing like Ipsy or BoxyCharm. I would love to do that. I think I like overthink it, and I'm like, do they want to see it? Do they not? Like, but I do. I love a good deal, and I feel like this is one way. Ipsy and BoxyCharm are the fastest way to grow your makeup collection and test out new products without like having to spend too much. I feel like that is like the easiest way. So you guys let me know so I can do that for you guys. Sit back, relax. So this story time, it's funny and then it's not funny because it was super uncomfortable. So if you guys have been watching my story times, you guys kind of see that I really like, there's times where like I want to be like rah rah rah, then there's times where I am very like just to myself because I care too much, and I don't know, it like comes out randomly how I get. I really hate it because sometimes Jade, that's Jayda, you know, will pop up and be sassy as hell and will put her foot down, and then other times Alexis is just like, okay. But when you ever see me like getting upset, or I feel like I'm backed up into a corner and like I get like upset and like, oh my god, that's Jayda, that's Jade. She's popping out and she is pissed. So I was trying to get more clients and just get more experience under my belt, okay? More experience. I wanted to work on more people. I wanted to build my clientele, you know, that sort of thing. So Mother's Day was popping up, okay? And I was like, you know what? This is going to be the perfect opportunity to grow and have more people find out about me, you know? So I was excited. And I was already doing videos and getting sent PR, so I was really excited. Smashbox and LA Girl have always been super, super kind with foundations, and they will like send me the whole collection, which I thought was always so freaking sweet because it really helped me out with finding a shade for everyone I worked on. It was freaking awesome. Like they were just like, here you go, girl. Spoiled me, right? So I wanted to do more clients. I was like, hell, my lips are plumping. They're plumping. So I wrote on my Facebook and I was like, hey guys, I want to do some free makeup on mama for Mother's Day. I love doing this, whether it be like birthdays or like something's coming up. I like to like give back for free. Want to do it, experience, like you pat my back, I'll pat your back. Sometimes I won't even record, sometimes I won't even take pictures, and we'll just be bullshitting together and I'll just be doing your makeup, you know what I mean? Like it just all depends on, I guess, like what kind of like mood or just like the vibes, you know, the vibes. So I wrote that on Facebook and I was like, I would love to work on some mamas. I ended up doing 3 people, okay? 3 people. One of the girls, super, super kind, did her makeup. She asked if I couldn't like no pictures please, as she didn't really like taking pictures and she just wanted to get her makeup done. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, yeah, it's fine. Did her makeup. It was fun. We had like good conversation. She was funny and it was just good vibes, good vibes. Second girl, she was okay. She was just more like a little bit of like attitude. Like it kind of came across like, oh, you need me. And yeah, like I wanted to do more people and get more experience, but I really didn't like how it was just the attitude and just like rude. I don't need anybody to kiss my ass because I feel like a lot of people confuse that and they're like, oh, you know, you expect this, or people expect that, like when you're doing a favor for them or something like that. Or if you need that, if you're doing nails and they want to be sassy, like I don't need to be here. Like, you know what I mean? Like some people who come across like that, and it's like, you're getting your free set, I'm getting experience. Like just be nice, like, you know, treat people how you would want to be treated regardless of anything. Like I didn't go into your inbox and I was like, please, 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 you know what I mean? I was just being nice, and I go, okay, if I get people to want me to do their makeup for free, cool. If I don't, cool. So the second one was just kind of sassy and just kind of like short with me. And then when I would try and like tell her like, oh, I think this would like look nice, well, this is what I like, and if you're gonna be doing this in the business, I hate when people used to use that line on me. If you're gonna be doing this in the business, and it's like, okay, you need to take what people say and like do it how they want. I'm like, okay, but like I think it would look nicer if I did it like this. It would, you know, flatter your fit. I don't care. If you're gonna be in the business. And it was just like, okay, dude, okay. And my husband would get like really pissed because he'd be like, bye, tell them to leave. And I'd be like, no, it's fine, because I really didn't want anyone to leave with like a bad taste in their mouth, and I didn't want to be mean. It sucks because I feel like at times I care way too much how other people feel versus how like I feel. Like, Jay, they don't give a damn how they're making you feel. Like, what the hell? What the hell? So towards the end, she started to like warm up a bit, and I get sometimes people can have like a very strong personality and they just come across like a bitch. Like, ugh, it's really hard. Like, I have a bitch face, but I really try and like train myself. Smile. Smile, Jade. Smile. Like, if it's been too long, you need to smile. Like, smile. Just so that I don't come across too like mean. And I have had FAMBAM tell me like, oh my god, I was gonna run up to you in Walmart and TJ, but you just look like you were not in the mood. And I was like having the best day of my life. And I just had to like remind myself like, okay, smile. Smile. And it's just so hard. Like, I really envy the girls who could just walk around and just look like they are just a ball of joy. Like, I just look like just straight like puta, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean to, like, I really don't mean to. So I try to understand, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is just how people's personalities are, and they just come across really harsh, and you just got to pull them back like layers, you know? But I was trying with her, y'all. Like, I was really trying with her. Like, I was trying to like, you know, give her like the best jokes, little himiny hine, and nada. She was just like pissed. And I even told her at a point, like, if you want, I could just do the eyes and we can just end it here. Like, it's fine. Like, if you got somewhere to be. No. And it's just, I swear, at times I feel like God puts people like this in my life just to like test me, because it's kind of dumb. Like, Lex, why are you gonna get mad like and go to like 100? But it's really hard, y'all. Like, I know you guys know what I mean. Like, it kind of just reminds me of just like a negative Nancy, and it's like, for what? Like, for what? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm the nicest person to be around like ever. No, I'm not saying that. But if I invite you over and I am giving you free services, I even like the cute little goodie bag, I'm going to be nice. Like, I am not going to be like, okay, so this is what I'm going to do and you're going to let me do it. No, I'm just like, I get their input. Like, okay, what kind of look do you want to go for? What kind, you know, like that kind of thing. It's never like, I'm gonna do this, I don't care if you don't like it, this and that. Like, I will give my input. And it just kind of just, I don't know. I was just like, oh, okay. I don't know. And I was even thinking a little bit, like, I wonder, like who told her that she had to come, or like told her to like pity come for me or something like that, because she was just like not happy. Like, I literally would show her like her face, okay, like this. Okay, I'm like, okay, here's your face. And once it got taken away, she was just like pissed. And I had to like keep asking her like here and there, like, you good, girl? Like, you good? Like, you know, like, everything okay? You know, there's a type of a There's people who will be like, yeah, I'm good. You know, just like that. And then And so I was just like, okay, I don't know. Someone that I probably don't mess with, she probably messes with, and that's why she don't like me. But like, that's so weird. Like, I never understood that. Like, I never understood why people would book with me when someone in their circle did not like me and they wanted me to do their makeup, but they wanted to have a little attitude with me. Like, it was so awkward. Like, for what? Like, there's so many other people that do makeup. Like, why? It's weird. You trying to feel me out? Like, what's up? Like, it weird, right? So that was the second girl. Third girl was a sweetheart, and it took her a while to warm up. So it, you know, I get it. Same way, sometimes I'm very like awkward. There's even times where like if I feel very like nervous, I have a hard time making eye contact sometimes. I don't know why. I freaking hate it. Like, I literally feel like my eyelids go heavy and I can't lift them up because I get so nervous. I don't know how to break that habit. Even times where like I feel like if I'm over like stimulated, I won't make eye contact, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, so you're so annoying. Like, you're so annoying. And it's something that I'm still working on. So when her girl was taking a minute to warm up, totally understood, because girl, I'm struggling too. I'm struggling. So I did her makeup. Of course, these girls, 3 girls are free. Okay, free. First girl tipped, second girl did not, which is fine. Third girl tipped, and it was all cool and dandy. Okay, she tipped me, thank you, gave some recommendations. Now where I receive PR, it does not hurt at all for me to be like, if they ask me a question, like, oh, do you know how to help with this or help with that? Well, matter, you will leave with a goodie bag and more. I am not stingy. And if anyone has told you I am stingy, they're fucking lie. They are fucking lie. Because I am not stingy, especially when it comes to giving. There's always a seat at the table. I'm just not gonna give up my seat anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, left with the goodie bag. Okay, yeah, cool. Even the second girl left with the goodie bag. No, like, oh, nope, not you, because you want to act like that, you know? Nothing. Left her with the goodie bag. Cool. Again, these girls did not pay, okay? Because this was something I was doing for free. Girl number 2, we'll name her Tweezer, okay? Okay, Tweezer. A couple weeks go by and Tweezer messages me and she's like, hey girl, how are you doing? Miss you. And I'm just like thrown off because I'm like, who? What? Because I'm telling y'all, like, it was like, she did not want to be in my chair. Like, it was weird, you know? So I was like, okay, like maybe she just like wasn't having a good day and, you know, okay, whatever. So me, like a dumbass, I don't know why. I was like, hey girl, I miss you too. Who are you missing, Jade? You don't even know her. How you missing her? Huh? I don't get it. I don't know. We there's something wrong with us. So me and her start to have a little combo and she's telling me that she would like for me to do her mom's makeup and her mom really liked the makeup that I did on her. She's excited and she's wondering if I have anything and I'm like, oh, you know what, we're gonna be out of town during that day, but when I come back, if you want, I can still do her makeup. She's like, oh yeah, for sure, no rush, it's fine, thank you so much, Lexi. Only a few people call me Lexi just because it is like very, I know, only a few. And so that kind of threw me out too, where I was like, okay, you're buttering me up and you're gonna put me in the oven and me. Like, that's what you're trying to do. Maybe that's just me because I get too much in my head and I'm like, oh, when's the other shoe gonna drop? And I get very like paranoid because the way she was acting, y'all, you guys are probably screaming like, Lex, what the fuck? I know, okay, I know. You know what I mean? So I'm like talking to Rudy and right from the get, Rudy's like, don't do it. Now, my babe can kind of sometimes come off very harsh, okay? And for good reason. Me and him, polar opposites. He is very, very different from me. I'm very much people pleaser and my babe is more like, I don't give a fuck, okay? Capricorn, Leo, okay? And so I'm like trying to convince him that I want to take this client. And he's telling me like, I don't think it's a good idea, babe. Like, I don't think it's a good idea. It was weird because even babe would come like, you know, and check, make sure everything's good and stuff, especially because like stuff, you know what I mean? So he would come and check, okay, oh, hi, and that kind of thing. And he was like, it was weird. He's like, especially how you're all about vibes and stuff. Not a good vibe to be around, babe. And of course, I don't know why. I get like in defensive mode. We're like, well, maybe people just have a bad day. And he keeps telling me, I don't think it's a good idea. And I'm just like, So now I'm over here on her side trying to be like, yeah, like, that's just how people are. Like, she said she missed me. Like, Jade, stop it right now. Stop. But do I? No. So we leave town and me and her are messaging because she's asking me if I can fit in her aunt. And I tell her, yeah, sure, but it's going to take some time that like we need to schedule it sooner. Like, she can't come in the time that she had originally wanted because now I have to push back and, you know, we're just trying to make times work. So now it's her mom and her aunt that are going to be getting their makeup done. And I tell her, okay, well, this is going to be this price. And she's like, yeah, girl, like, no worries. That sounds good. Thank you so much. And it was that. So as I'm away, I take some of the PR with me because sometimes I don't get to open them at home. And I open them like on the road, or I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play with this when I'm out there, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm in Vegas and I post some of the goodies that I got in PR. she's one of the first to reply, oh my God, that's so cool. You're so lucky. And I'm like, thanks, girl. She's asking me, is this some of the stuff that I might be using on her mom? And it's like nothing bad, you know, it's just like conversation. And I'm like, oh yeah, like, yeah, I can use this palette on them. You know, like, yeah, I don't know how it performs yet, but like I would like to. Just having conversation. I have conversation all the time with y'all. Like it's not like a red flag, you know? So she's like asking me if I'm just gonna use like high end on her mom. Like she's trying to like impress her mom. Her mom's kind of like bougie. She's like, girl, you know how moms can be. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Cause like my grandma be acting like she bougie too. Like if she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth. And my grandma, stop it right now. Like stop. Because sometimes she just be acting like that. And I'm just like, why? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like sometimes my grandma be getting mad if I send her something like from like the drugstore and she's like, but I seen that you got a high-end product. Okay, that's the dupe for it. It's a dupe. You know what I mean? So we're talking. She's telling me like, hey girl, does Tuesday still work? We will go at 8 a.m. And I'm like, yeah, that time still works. She's like, okay, so it's my mom and my aunt. And I'm like, yeah, got you. This is going to be the amount. She's like, yeah, no worries. I got you. I'm like, okay, cool. Cool. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I should have been, but I'm not worried. The day comes around. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very nervous. And what I say right now, I'm probably like, what the f-? But it's so true. So I get nervous around older ladies. I am traumatized. I'm not gonna lie. I get really like nervous around older ladies just because the older ladies that I have been around are very mean, especially my grandma. She be mean as hell. And anytime I would take my grandma anywhere, I would always have to apologize for my grandma because she is just very, very mean. And I know she hates hearing it. Even my mom hates it when I tell her that she's mean, very mean. So I get very nervous, I'm not gonna lie, around older ladies because I feel like sometimes older ladies can be very rude and very demanding and just think everything's funny, especially when they are being very, very mean. Especially when you get two older ladies together that are besties, they will himmy high in your face and be like, and what? Why are you crying? Like straight George Lopez moment, like, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Like for real, like no lie, like. So I was nervous and I was telling my babe and he's mad because he's like, I already had told you that like you shouldn't do it, you know? And I get like cabrona and I'm like, that's why I want to do it because you said no, so I want to do it. So I start putting everything out, getting things ready for the older ladies, and I'm not gonna lie, I want to be like, I'm sick because I get nervous and I know it's probably like, what the hell, Jade? Because the older ladies that I'm cool with be like this, okay? I'm an old soul. Like I've always been told like, oh Jade, like you have such an old soul. I know, but I get so nervous because not my old soul always vibes with older souls, you know what I'm saying? So again, I'm nervous. I write her and I'm like, hey, everything good? Like, you know, pretty much asking like if she's gonna be on time. She's like, yep, we will be there. And I'm like, okay, great, cool, 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 cool. She asks me if I have coffee and I'm like, yeah, I do. I have coffee. Do you want me to make any? She's like, no, I just want to make sure. I'm like, okay, great. Because I'm thinking like, oh, okay, maybe the older ladies want some coffee. Cool. I brew some, okay? I get some going. Cool. The vibes are going. Okay. The older ladies come in and I'm like, hi, you know, hi. We'll call one color. We'll call the other one pop. Okay, so color is very nice. So is pop. Like, oh, hi, mija. Very, very sweet. As soon as they start with mija, I'm like, I'm melting. I don't know why. I'm a sucker. Okay, so I sit color down first, and she is just asking like, oh, how long have you been doing this? We're making good combo. Okay, really good combo. She is super, super sweet. Like just the nicest. Okay, and Tweezer is just super quiet and again very just like rude, and maybe that's just her personality. Maybe she's just one of those people that talk really good on text, but when you meet them they are just very like, you know, which is cool because sometimes I'll be talking like a really tough game with my hubby okay. And I'm like, oh yeah, what you gonna do? And then when he is like, okay, and pulls my card, he's like, what's up? I melt. Okay. And so I'm like, okay, maybe she's like that. Maybe she's just, you know, but I guess not. Color and Pop were like, ¿qué tienes? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you so quiet? She's like, no más. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just me. And they are just like asking her quite a few times, like, ¿qué tienes? Oh, and they have their Starbucks, okay? They have their Starbucks, and Color asks me, like, oh, mija, like, how come you didn't want any coffee? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, I asked Tweezer to ask you if you want some coffee. I was like, oh, no. She told me if I had coffee. And so she looks at Tweezer and she's like, ¿por qué estás así? Like, why are you like that? And Tweezer just laughs. And she's like, I didn't have enough. I asked her if she had coffee so she can, like, make her coffee. And I kind of, like, laugh. And I'm kind of just like, damn, like, that's just so weird. Like, so weird. Which is cool. I would have said no anyways. I'm very weird. Unless we're like, we know each other, then I'll put in a coffee order. But even that, it's like super weird to me. I feel like I have to pay you back like tenfold because I feel super duper awkward about it. Like, I literally have to fight my friends sometimes to pay them back or me pay, because I feel like, nope, I don't want that over my head. I don't want that over my head. It's so weird to me, right? But I just tell Color, I'm like, oh, it's okay. And she's like, no, that I could have hers, even though she was sipping on it. I'm like, no, está bien, like, it's okay. We start chatting, like, I'm getting really, like, along with, I'm gonna call them the grandmas, okay? I start getting along with the grandma and Thea really well. We're just talking, and Tweezer, towards the end where I'm, like, finishing the makeup, says that she has to go run an errand. I kind of knew in my gut, like, okay, she's gonna pull something. I just felt it, because like the whole time I was doing her makeup, just super quiet, and it was just weird. Like, even when we tried to put her in the conversation, she just like did not want to be in the convo. She was like, yeah, just like super short. Pop would have to be like, are you okay? She's like, are you sure you're okay? She's like, yeah. She would put her little hand on her forehead, like, is that me? Like, wanted to know, like, what the heck was up, you know? And I'm over here just chatting it up with the ladies, like chatting it up, having the time of my life, where I'm like, these are my best friends now, because we're laughing, okay? And they're like, how many kids you got? It always trips people out how many babies I have. It just trips them out. At the time I only had 5, but still that's a lot. And they're just, oh my god, you know, you don't have TV. And I'm like, what do you think starts it? You know, like start laughing all stupid, you know, and just having a good time. Like, I got along better with the grandma and Thea than I did with Tweezer. Like, it was a lot better. Like, it was just, they weren't so like tense, and it was just so cool. They're asking me how much like I charge, and I was telling them my prices. No way. This just pooped out. It just pooped out. It just came out. You gotta be kidding me. Did I do that? Bro. I'm gonna use what's on here. Got me messed up. Think we're gonna waste that? Nah. Look at that. I thought I wasted that. So, anyways, they're asking me how much I charge, and I tell them like the prices. Oh, that's a good deal. So like, you just work from home, and they're just like, you know, getting information about me. And I'm like, oh yeah, like this, and oh yeah, like that. They're asking me how I found Tweezer, and I'm like, oh, I posted that I was gonna do some makeup for free for Mother's Day, and she was one of the ladies like, oh, that's so nice, you do that often. And I tell them, like sometimes like here and there, so I can get like experience and stuff. And they asked me if I worked on older ladies before, and I'm like, yeah, here and there. I get kind of nervous, and I start telling them like why I get a little nervous about, like, you know, the older ladies being a little bit mean, and they are like laughing, thinking it's like really funny, and they're like, oh, those ones are just miserable, that they're young at heart. And I'm like, yeah, that's true, you know. And we're just talking. We are just talking. Now I'm getting ready towards like finishing up. Ooh, this is pretty. I'm getting finished to like, you know, I'm getting towards the end of finishing up, and I asked Pop, like, oh, is it gonna be you paying, or is it gonna be Tweezer? And she kind of looks at me kind of like confused, but like, you know how when someone tries to play it off, like, I know a poker face, okay? I know one. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, like, who's gonna do the payment? Is it you? Is it Pop? Is it Tweezer? And she's like, wait, ¿qué hablas? Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, like, who's gonna pay me? And my heart starts sinking, because I'm like, maybe my Spanish isn't up to like And it's not, okay? I'm not fluent. It's not my first language. The only reason why I learned Spanish was because I had to survive pretty much and know what was going on when I was a nanny and my ex. So that's the only reason why I really picked up. My mom really didn't speak that much. My grandma did here and there, but it wasn't like if it was every day for us. You know what I mean? So I was just like, huh. And so the aunt is like, just 1 second, okay? I'm like, okay. So she gets on the phone and she's like talking, and I can hear that she's kind of like upset, and she's talking to somebody, and she's like telling them to come inside. And I'm like, oh, it's probably Tweezer. Like, she's probably telling Tweezer to come inside. This is so awkward. I feel so awkward to the point where I'm like, I think I'm just gonna be like, you know what? It's on the house. It's on the house. It's on the house, because I feel that is so pretty. I feel so weird. Like, I feel so awkward. And I'm like, ugh. And so while the aunt is on the phone, I'm like talking to the grandma mom, and I'm like, look, like, I told her, like, this is how much the price. And she's like looking at the phone like, oh, okay, okay. Like, you know, like nodding. And I'm like, she don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck. Like, this is so awkward. Like, I hate that. Hold on. I want to try these too, you guys. I'm so excited. These are the new Huda lip blush, but you can use them as blush. So I'm going to use this as my blush. This is so cute. It's a lip blush. Creamy lip and cheek stain. So I feel weird. I hate when I feel like I have to prove my point. Oh, because like this is what, and I feel like nervous. I feel like a fucking kid, and I'm like getting like annoyed inside, because I'm like, oh my god, like I'm gonna have to get my husband, because y'all are gonna pay me. And I hate when I get like nervous. I hate that I feel like I have to prove it. I'm like, no, look, like I told her. Mother was like, oh, she said that it was going to be free because of like Mother's Day. And I was like, oh no, like that was last time. That's why I did her makeup. Like, but this isn't free. This is like what I normally charge. And she's like, oh, okay. And they were just kind of confused. I felt really bad that they were confused. They were like, what's going on? Like, what are you talking about? You know? And I hear a knock on the door. So I go and open the door, and it is Tweezer. And she comes in, she has like some attitude, and she's just like, what's going on? What's going on? And it made me mad, because it's like, bitch, first of all, you're not boss. Like, what, like, why so much attitude? I don't get it. What's up with the attitude? And just like the way she walked in. But like, people who always feel stupid and they're in the wrong always feel like they have to be the loudest, okay? The loudest, like a little chihuahua. Calm down. Calm down, okay? So who's gonna pay? So are you gonna pay? Or are they gonna pay? Like, what's going on? And I hear her back with that. She's like, what? No, I said, what's going on? And I start laughing, because I'm a little psycho, and I don't know why I think it's funny when it's not. I need to get paid. I did their makeup. I told you how much it's gonna be. And I have the phone again. I'm like, you agreed on the price. And she's like, I thought this was like the Mother's Day. That's why I brought my aunt. That's why I brought my grandma. And I'm like, nope, that was my last promotion when I did it. Like, that was weeks ago. Like, no, like I didn't agree to doing it for free. Well, you're getting experience. It's so annoying when people really try and play you like that. Like, it's so annoying where it's like, you do something nice. And I should have known. I should have like listened to Rudy when he was like, the vibes, you know? Like, I should have just listened, but yeah, dude, I am. And I don't know why. That's pretty. I don't know why. I don't know why I always have to learn the hard way. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know. So me and her go back and forth, and I'm like, nope, that's not what we agreed on. Like, we agreed on this. This is why I kept bringing up the price. She's like, that's what I thought you mean, like you normally charge. And I'm like, no, because it's just annoying. Like, it's annoying when someone tries to bullshit you and tries to make you feel like you're crazy, or they really are like, no, or I don't know. And I feel like people, just because they think they're pretty, they can get away with it. Look, my pito doesn't go up for you, okay? No, like, that doesn't work. I don't care. Like, no. So I'm getting annoyed, kind of go back and forth, and Color and Pop are like, no, está bien, like, go pay, like, está bien. Like, we just thought, like, oh, you know, that it was gonna be free. And I was like, no, that was last promotion. I got like 3 girls. I did it for free for Mother's Day. I'm like, you know, it takes up a lot of time. She's like, no, like, you know. And I felt so bad. It feels so annoying when you feel like you're like in the wrong, you know. Could I have been like, oh yeah, it's free? Yeah, I could have. But I didn't like how Miss Girl was like really trying to, I don't know, it was just weird. Like, the way she like did it, it was just like weird. And it takes time, you guys. Like, it takes time. Just because you're like, oh, what would you have been doing anyways? Because she tried to hit me with that. Like, what would you have been doing anyway? Bitch, it don't matter. It don't matter if I was picking my asshole or flicking my bean. It's time. Like, it's time, you know? And I'm like, and I use products that you get for free. And that's why it's so hard. Like, it's so hard to, like, I don't know. Some people were like, Lex, you could have said this. Lex, you could have said that. I guess I just get into, like, annoyed mode where I'm just like, man, you just ruined it. You know, you just ruined it. And it's so hard to just, like, let it go because then I just feel like, yeah, what would I have been doing today? You know, and it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Lex, if you would have been doing nothing. It does not matter. People like that just think that they can just do whatever. My husband messages like, everything good? And I'm like, yeah, everything's good. Because I don't want him to come down. Because I don't like it when my babe is mean. I know that sounds really weird, right? But I don't like it. I don't like to see that side of him getting annoyed or like mad. Even if it's like he's like in the right to be. I don't like seeing it. Because I just don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like it just ruins the mood for like everybody, you know? So I tell him like, yeah, like everything's good. So Tweezer is asking me like if I could just do her pretty much like a solid and just do it for free, and that I'm like embarrassing her. She like pulled me to the side and she was like, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm like, okay. They're like right here in earshot, but okay, cool. So she pulls me to the side and she's like, look, it was just like a misunderstanding. Can you just like do me a solid and like I'll owe you. Like, I do this. I'm not gonna say what she does for a living. I do this for a living and I will, you know, comp you 2 times. And I'm like, no, I could do that myself. Like, no, work with me here. And I'm like, I don't know. She was trying to put on her boss baby voice and I was just like, no. I was like, I need to be paid for what I did. She's like, oh, can you throw in a goodie bag then? Like, can you like do that? The palette that you used on them? Like, I told them that like they were gonna leave with some stuff. Like when we got our makeup done last time, we left with some stuff and I was just like, I didn't like it. I don't like it. It's one thing when you just do it at the kindness of your heart, but it's so weird when other people just expect it. It takes the fun out of all of it, okay? And little did she know, I already had hooked up Granny and Auntie with some makeup. Like I already did, because they're asking me about like their dry patches and what could they do, and I was like, I got you. So she's like, oh, I need to go to the car and I need to talk to my husband because this is just a misunderstanding. I was like, not really. So she goes outside and I'm talking to Color, I'm talking to Pop, and they are just like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I'm so sorry. And just asking me how much I charge. And I was telling them the prices and they're like, okay, está bien, like we'll just pay it. They have like their goodie bag because I had pulled out some of my products and I just like put it in a bag for them and I put it to the side. And so the ladies are just like asking me like, oh, like I'm so sorry, like, you know, please don't do a review, and just being like really, really sweet. And I'm like, no, está bien, like I'm sorry. And I felt bad for charging Granny and Aunt, but I had to, because I feel like if I didn't, it would just allow people just to probably step over me, and like who knows, what if they were in it, you know what I mean? You don't know. So they pay me. She comes back in. Tweezer comes back in. She knocks and comes back in. And she's like, can I just come back? And they're like, no, we already took care of it. She gives me the ugliest look, like, I can charge them. You know, that kind of thing, whatever. And I just look at her. She looks at me. And she's like, okay. And just walks out. No, nothing. No, nada. Even her grandma and aunt were like, you're not going to say bye. You're not going to say gracias. And she's like, thank you. And walks out. And I'm like, qué grosera. Like, they get all like, oh, how nasty, you know? So they're leaving, and they're leaving without their bags. So imagine like a goodie bag filled like this, of like stuff, right? That I had put like some moisturizer stuff in there, like a lot of stuff in there for them, okay? And I grab them, and I'm like, here you go. And they're like, no, mija, está bien. Like, no, like, no. And I'm like, no, please take it. Like, please take it. And they're like, no, you know? And I'm like, no, just please take it. And they were just like, thank you. And asking me to like forgive them and stuff, like this is embarrassing. And I'm like, no, it's fine. So they leave, freaking awkward. Me and Babe have a little argument about it because he was like, I told you. I know, okay? It doesn't help you saying like, what did I tell you? Like, obviously it was awkward. It was so awkward, you guys. I get nervous sweat. It was like dripping, where I felt so awkward because I'm like, that is so, like, how gross, like, how gross. And this isn't the first time I've been put in a situation like this. Like, I have literally been invited to parties and I show up and they're like, oh, you didn't bring your makeup bag with you? Oh, I told so-and-so that you're probably gonna be able to do like her lashes and like her liner and stuff. Aw, that sucks. And it's just like, okay, is that the only reason why I was invited, you ugly bitch? Like, it's so awkward. Or when people are like, oh, like, what's a good cream? And I'm like, oh, this one, like, I love this one. Do you have any backups? And I'm like, oh yeah, like, I always buy me a backup, you know? You think I can have it? And it's like, ah! Like, it's just, I don't know how to navigate through that. I'm so all up for giving. I am. It's just, it hurts when it feels like you're making me do it. You know what I mean? Because like, I would have done it, but now since you're making me do it, it feels weird. You know what I'm saying? So a couple of days pass by and I get a message from one of the grandmas. I say grandmas on both of them because technically they were both grandmas, but yeah, I'm throwing myself off. So I get a message from them and they're just saying thank you so much, that they used the cream and it worked so well, that they are going to be honest, that they thought I just threw it in there because it's like stuff I didn't want, but that it worked really well and thank you so much. And that if I could book them again, but like teach them like how to do like their makeup and stuff. And I was like, okay. I said yeah to them because I'm like, okay, but I'm like, but Tweezer's not coming, right? And they're like laughing, like, no, she's not gonna come. That it was just gonna be them, that they really liked how they left and their makeup was, that it wasn't too much and they wanted to book again. And I'm like, yeah, of course. And it was so sweet, you guys. It was so freaking sweet. Like, it was so freaking nice. Oh, you guys are so cute. Oh, mama. Sorry, guys, there's a lot of stuff. Thank you, baby. Let me see. Oh, that's so pretty. Andrew, heck of cheese. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Those are so pretty. Thank you, babies. Let me see. Oh, ambulance. Love you guys. That's so cute. So the day comes around and the ladies come over. They're super freaking nice. They called me beforehand to get my order for some coffee. And I was like, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And they were like, okay, we're going to surprise you. And they ended up bringing me my caramel macchiato that I like. It was so freaking nice. They were just so freaking sweet, and I felt like a bitch for being so paranoid when I first met them. I'm over here traumatized as hell, and they're so freaking nice. They even brought me a croissant and it was so nice. They wanted to eat first and then do their makeup, and they were so sweet. It was so sweet. Like, Rudy was like, we have to go, like we had things to do, and I'm like, I'm not gonna rush them. I'm not gonna rush them. We're best friends now. Super sweet. I showed them how to do their makeup and they still follow me on my social media and they cheer me on. So freaking nice of them. And it's so cool because I ended up having like a sour client and I got 2 clients that paid me very well and gave me coffee. Super sweet ladies, and it was so nice. Like, because at first I thought like, okay, they're gonna be mad that I charged them, but no, they respected my time and they understood that like, okay, this is a business. Even if I do get products for free does not mean that my time is free. Do you know what I mean? And they respected that. They respected that I was a mom. They booked for 2 hours. It went over and they paid me a little bit more extra. They respected that. I didn't want Tweezer to come because of what happened. They were just super freaking nice, and it was really, really sweet. And we did talk about what happened. They were like, oh yeah, like she always does stuff like that, like it's so embarrassing, or it's just miscommunication, but and they were just really nice. We got along really, really well. So that was one of the times that I almost did not get paid, and they tried to hustle. Okay, she really did try to hustle. It made me so mad because it would have been so cool, especially because of the line of work that she did. Like, it would have been cool, all dandy, but just the way she went about it was so awkward, so weird, and it's just, I didn't like that. It was just like, it was unnecessary. It wasn't needed. Why'd you do that, you know? So I'll tell you guys another time where someone didn't want to pay me. Awkward as hell, and it ruined a friendship. Like, it was so weird. I started doing makeup often. A friend of mine, I would do her makeup, and sometimes she would pay me, and sometimes she'd be like, oh, I owe you, and she'd take me out to eat, and she'd be like, you don't have to, I don't have to pay you anymore, right? Because like, I just bought this, and it was so awkward, and I really didn't know how to stand up for myself back then, of like, no, this is separate, bitch. Like, you got me up, you know, because sometimes I care too much about hurting other people's feelings, and I wouldn't consider like my feelings. Like, they didn't consider how I would feel. And I have a new friend, you guys know her, Carm. She does nails, and what I like is that she always like, it gives me like info like that, where she's like, Lex, this is separate. No, you have to be stern. You have to be like, oh, this is my fee, this is my late fee, because I'll tell her, like, because like sometimes I still do take clients, and I'll tell her like, oh my god, it was so awkward, because like I had to tell them like, hey, you were late, I have a late fee, and they were like, okay, you're your own boss, can't you like just take that off? And she's like, no, you better have told them this. And I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know why sometimes I still feel weird. I don't know. And like, the world's so crazy, you just never know who's just gonna like, you know what I mean? So I get like overly paranoid. So that's why I don't really take clients, because it's so much stress, and some people are super entitled. Like, a lot of people come off very entitled, and they go into this whole thing of like, you need me, and it's just so weird, where it's like, why can't we need each other? Weirdo, why are you gonna be mean? Or they try to show out because their friends are there. Like, bitch, I will catch a case and I will smile in my mugshot. Like, what is wrong with you? And then I don't want to be ugly. Like, I don't want to go back to that place of being ugly, y'all. Like, it's a really ugly place to be, and I'm like, don't want to go back to it, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be better than that. So I had this friend, and she would book with me, do IOUs, all that stuff, right? So she wanted me to do makeup on her sister, and I was like, okay, cool. I didn't really talk to her sister, because her sister was kind of a little shit, and I don't really like to deal with like sibling fights and stuff like that. And they would try to put me in the mix sometimes and be like, what do you think, Alexis? Honestly, I don't give a fuck, because I don't care. I'm your friend, not her friend, and this is just weird. I very rarely friend the sibling, because it is just a disaster of drama. Been there, done that, don't want to do it. There's favorites, and then it's just like the third wheel, their blood, they'll go against. Just weird. Like, it's just weird. It's never gonna work out. Don't do it. Don't recommend to do it. And it's just like drama for no reason. So she asks me if I can do her sister's makeup, and I'm like, okay, cool. I already know she's a little firework. I already know that she comes with a lot of heat. So I'm like, okay, cool. These are the prices. And she's like, okay, cool. She'll send you the amount. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I was messaging her. She told me like, oh, how much is it? I told her the price. She was like, okay, cool. Can I pay you half now and then half there? I'm like, yeah, cool. Because that's like a deposit, right? It's going to work like a deposit, right? So she was like, okay, cool. So she sends me half, and it's 30. So I tell her like, okay, it will be this date. And she's like, okay, I'll leave the front door open. I'm like, oh no, like, you come here. And she's like, I don't have a car. I'm like, okay, well, ask your sis to drop you off. And she's like, she's going to be working. And I'm like, okay, well, it's going to be here. And she's like, well, I can't get there. I feel so awkward when people put me in situations like that, where they're like, but I can't do it. Like, the last time I felt this uncomfortable was when I was posting, like, when I would work out, and someone wrote like, I wish I was motivated. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, what are some things that can motivate you? And I'm like, well, like, just doing it. Like, the motivation will like die off, but like, just being disciplined more than anything is what will help. She's like, well, I got kids. I was like, yeah, me too. I have 6, 5 are in school, then I have 4-year-old. I'm explaining, and she's like, well, like, I just don't want to. And I'm like, okay, well, then you can just start whenever you want. She's like, but I want to lose weight. Yeah, but like, you know, you can lose weight with like working out, a calorie deficit, but like, I don't want to go on a diet. Okay, like, it's just like, I don't know what you want me to do then. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I will help you, and we can, like, you know, get this ball rolling, but like, I can't work out for you. Like, if that was possible, I would be like, babe, burn these calories for me, please. But yeah, it doesn't work like that, you know? And it's just like really hard. So I kept telling her, well, I don't know what to tell you then. Like, do you want me to send you the 30 back? She's like, no, why can't you just come here? Like, the kids can play in the yard. I don't want the kids to play in the yard, okay? I don't want the kids to go over there and play. Like, I want you to just come here. And I'm like, no, I don't want kids over there. They're gonna be playing here. We have company. And she was like, okay, so like, why can't you just come over here, have your husband watch? I'm like, because I don't want to. So we're going back and forth, and she's getting a little snobby because this is how she was. And I was writing her sister at the same time, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm not gonna go over there. She can come here. And she's like, well, can you go pick her up? And I'm like, no, like I have to pack all the kids in the car. I don't want to do that. So my friend is already like being upset with me. Like, how come I can't help out her sister and make accommodations? And I'm like, dude, like, this is, treat it like if it's my job. And she's like, okay, but you can be flexible, like, you know us. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to pack up all the kids in the car and go pick her up, bring her back. Like, okay, I don't want to do that. She's like, just charge her more for gas. I don't want to. And I'm like, why can't you? She's like, because I don't want to. The fuck? So like, why do I have to? Like, I don't understand. But it's because people are so used to walking over me and me jumping and doing it and jumping and doing it and jumping. Like, it's just, it's so awkward. And once you notice you're that friend, so many things start to click of like, oh, they don't really like you. They just like what you bring to the table. That's it. And it sucks. So me and her were going back and forth. And I just tell her, like, can I be honest? Like, I feel uncomfortable because I just wanted to like do her makeup and that's it. Like, I don't want to be running around dropping her. How are you running around? Like, you're exaggerating. And I'm like, okay, like how can I say it for you to like comprende? And like, I just don't want to do it. So this is how me and this friend would like have our fights, because she really wanted me just to like do it, and like she didn't understand why, because she was so used to me just jumping whenever, because I always was like, I see myself in her needing help and this and that. But it just got to the point where like she just took full advantage and didn't appreciate. And when I couldn't do something because I have my own kids and I have a husband, it was, oh, you think you're better than me? No, bitch. I just got things to do. Okay, I got things to do, and I can't be running around for you to be doing this and that. Like, it's a lot. Like, what the are you talking about? And God forbid if I ask for a favor, because quickness, it would be like, okay, well, can you take me here? Can you take me there? No, bitch. No. Like, friends just help each other out. So I write her sister, and I'm like, hey, what's her sister's name? Well, I name her TF. Cut the fuck. Okay, so I write TF, and I'm like, hey, TF, like, I can't go and pick you up. I'm not going to load all the kids. And she's like, why can't you just load them all? You guys can just chill here and there. I don't want to. I don't want to do that, because then I have to pack all my stuff and then go over, and the kids are going to be fussy and they're going to be running around. I don't want to have to be chasing them, or if they get into stuff, and then she writes me back, it's fine. Like, no one's going to complain or anything like that. And if they do, I'll beat their ass. And it's like, dude, stop. I don't want to. And if you've ever been in a situation like this, let me know, because I have been in them so much where I'm like, I just want to hit restart, because it is so uncomfortable where like someone doesn't understand, like, no is no, like, this is it. And then I didn't have it in me to be so like upfront and be like, I said no. That's it. I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know why I would care so much of like, oh my God, they're going to hate me. Oh my God, I'm going to lose a friend, when they honestly did not give two to lose me as theirs. But I was always so scared. Like, I was always so scared that like, what if I do lose them as a friend? And then what? Then nothing, Jade. You would have been cool. You would have been chilling. You would have been less stressed probably. But I was just so like, oh my God. So I kept writing her like, I don't want to pack all the kids. I don't want to have everyone go. Like, no, like, I just can't. And we literally go back and forth, and she's like, well, why can't you? Like, I don't understand. Like, I can't drive. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to send you back the money right now, and maybe we can just do another date. And she's like, why can't you just work with me? So her sister, my friend, ended up just bringing her. What is that? She ended up just bringing her, and she was like all annoyed, like that she had to bring her sister. Like, she didn't even want to like sit there and BS with me. She was like, text me when you're done. And was like, suplex, like, just very like weird. And me, como pendeja, always like, are you good? Like, you okay? Like, always trying to fucking make sure everyone else is good and like kiss their ass and shit. Blah, 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 blah. So she leaves, and I'm doing her sister's makeup, and her sister is such a pain in the butt, and wants her eyebrows this way and that way. And I'm like telling her, like, okay, like, how does this look? I'm like, okay, how does this look? Like, with every single thing, it was so hard. And I'm like, okay, how does this? How do you like this? And then you yourself too, you gotta know like how much you're willing to like put up with, because so we took forever on her freaking eyebrow, like literally forever. And then we ended up going back to like what I had originally told her, and she's like, well, why didn't you just tell me just to shut up, like it's your job? And I'm like, dude, because you don't listen. And she was just like a pain. Okay, when I was trying to do her makeup, she wanted the mirror right in front of her, and I was like, no, I'll put the mirror there after I'm done. She's like, no, but like what if you do something and then you're like too far along to like change it? And I'm like, no, we could do minor changes. And she's like, no, like just put the mirror in front of me. So I literally had the mirror in front of her the whole time, which is such a big no-no, you guys, because you will drive yourself crazy because they're like, oh, but I'm not done yet. Oh, but I'm not done yet. Oh, but I'm not done yet. And then they want to like literally have the mirror like this, and it's like, you need to move the mirror so I can do your face, please. And what I didn't like is that any little thing that I was doing, oh, but are you gonna do this? I've seen people do this. Are you gonna do, yep, everyone has a different technique. Everyone has a different technique. Everyone has a different technique. And what products are you using? Oh, I heard this about that product. Oh, what about this? And what about that? And this and that. And it was just like, I was so... And then she was on the phone, and then she was talking, and then it was just, hold on. And then it was putting the lipstick on her, and how am I going to reapply it later? And I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, so like, am I going to be able to take that home? And it's like, no. So then how am I going to reapply it? And I'm like, oh, well, you can use this similar shade that I use, and you can take this one. Nope, I want that one. So how do I make sure that my makeup lasts until tomorrow? And it was just like, dude, what the? And I was like pissed that like my friend knew that her little sister was such a little cabrona that like she just dropped her off and left her with me. And it was like so annoying. And she kept making jokes like, oh, is this free because you and my sister are friends? And I'm like, no. And I was telling her like, no, you still have the remaining balance of this. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, you're so uptight. I'm not really, but I really hate those jokes because it's like, there's some truth to that joke. There's some truth to it, and you know it. So stop it. And it was just so frustrating. So I'm doing her makeup and she's on the phone. It's super hard to like do her lips, so I'm having to wait, and she has like a little attitude of like, why did I stop? And I tell her, I'm like, because you're on the phone, like what you mean? And she's like laughing. She's like, oh, I gotta go, I'll see you in a few, blah 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 blah. So at this time my friend comes back and she's like telling me to like hurry up, that she has things to do. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm finishing up, because just because I'm doing like a friend's makeup or a family member doesn't mean I'm going to half-ass it. Like, I really hate when people are like, okay, hurry up, like, why is it taking so long? First of all, I'm being professional. Second of all, hold your nutsack, okay? Like, chill out. So I tell her like I'm almost done, and that I usually take like X amount of time. I'm like, you know this. And she's like, okay, well, like, hurry the f up. So I hate when she would talk to me like that, because I would snap back at her. And at times, you just don't know, like, if someone, like, especially if they play like that, because she would play with me like that a lot, where like she would like, you know, be mean and think it's funny, but sometimes I wouldn't be in the mood and I'd snap back ugly, and vice versa. There'd be times where like she would snap and I'd be like, oh, okay, so we're not playing right now, okay, cool. And it was just like a very like, we shouldn't have played like that at all. So I snap back at her, she gets mad, and she's like, oh, you know what, I'm fucking leaving, bye. So she's mad, and I'm like still doing her makeup, her sister's makeup, and she like tells me like, so are you gonna take me home since you want to start with her? And I'm like, no, like, I got things to do, like, I'm not gonna take you home, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm not. Well, I'm not gonna pay you then. And I immediately stopped right there. I was like, okay, like, I'm not gonna be sitting here doing, like, you're not doing me a favor. Like, I'm doing you the favor. Because first of all, I'm not even charging you full price. Second of all, you're running up my time. And third of all, like, you got me fucked up. So me and her start getting, like, snappy with each other, because I really hated how, like, just because she was the baby, she thought, like, she could act out and, like, everyone was just going to do it. Or, like, everyone would be like, oh, you know how she is. I don't care how she is. I don't care. That's not how the real world works. No one's gonna be like, oh, you know how so-and-so. They don't give a f. So check how you talk, check how you move, check how you act, because not everyone's gonna be like, okay, and scoot to the side. You're gonna meet the right one. Half of the time people will be acting out because they haven't met the right one yet. Okay? So I tell her, I'm not gonna finish. So I call my friend back. I'm like, hey, come pick her up. Like, I'm not taking her home. She's like, I'm outside. Okay, cool. So I finish her up and I tell her that she still owes me. I'm like, okay, I'm done. And she tells me like, well, for like all the stress that you just caused, and like tries to laugh. And I'm like, She's like, can I just pay you back? Can I just pay you back later? And I'm like, why? She's like, because I'm gonna go on a date and like I don't think he's gonna pay half. Starts giving me like this whole half. She's like, I don't think he's gonna pay and I'm gonna have to pay half. Giving me like this whole sob story, and I'm like so annoyed because like my husband's messaging me, then he's telling me like, you see, I told you. I hate when he messages at those times because like it's just like adding more fuel to the fire. It's not helping the situation. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. Just make sure that you pay me back later. If anything, I'll go by and pick it up. Whatever. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So she leaves. I tell her sister, hey, she did not pay me. She's going to pay me later because she's going to go on the date. She doesn't know she's going to have to pay half. Yada, 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 yada. She's like, okay. Just hits me with the cakes. But I'm like, okay, cool. And this is what I hate. I hate that I always felt like I have to save receipts because everyone wants to act like, oh, I forgot. All of a sudden, you fucking, all of a sudden, you're fucking, okay, bitch. So later on that night, I can't pass by to get it. I should have passed by to get it because I fucking hate how like, oh, well, you should have came on Friday because that's when I had it. I spent it on Saturday. Bitch, you knew you had to pay me. Like, I hate that. So I couldn't pass by to get it on Friday, okay? Tell her I can't pass by that night and that I'll pick it up the next day. She says, okay, cool, I have it. He ended up paying for everything, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, cool, that's nice. I'm glad the date went well. She's saying like, oh, thank you so much for doing my makeup. It looks so nice, yada, yada. The next day comes around. I'm up early in the morning and I'm like, I'm going to go get my coffee and I'm gonna go pick up the money. So I pass by, I'm like knocking on the door, no one answers. I'm calling the sister, I'm calling the other sister, nobody answers. And I'm like, okay, I just seen y'all were active on Facebook. Like, I hate when you have to chase people for your money, okay? I freaking hate it. So I leave, and as I'm getting my coffee, since they know I left, all of a sudden, oh, I just woke up, or oh, I went to the door and you weren't there. All of a sudden, I hate that type. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna swing right across around. I'm gonna make my way back. I'm gonna go get it. Okay, cool. I go knock, 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 no answer. And I'm like, are you kidding me? We're gonna do this. So I end up just going home. I go home, nothing, but they're posting on their freaking Facebook, their active thing. You know how on Facebook you can see like if they're active, it's all active. And I'm like, okay. So I messaged the one I'm friends with, hey, where's your sister so I can collect? Why do you need the money? Like, are you starving? I hated that. I hated any time I lend a friend money and I asked for it back because it's mine. It's mine. I'm not saying like I would bug it like the next day, especially if they lend money. I'd give you like a month, pay me back in a month. And then they'd be like, oh, this is going on. Okay, pay me back in 2 weeks. But when it's like, okay, dude, like I need the money back. Oh, like you need money? Like you're starving? Like you're starving? What is wrong with you? I don't understand that type of mentality. What is wrong with you? And like the people who get mad when you ask for the money back, what is wrong with you? It makes me sick. It gives me the shit. Like, it honestly does. So I'm like, no, but I want to get paid for what I did. Like, you don't just show up to work and you don't work for free. And she's like, well, technically when I show up for work, I get it 2 weeks later. Bitch, we're not doing that. I was like, okay, so is that what she needs? Like, she needs 2 weeks or what? She's like, I don't know, talk to her. I've been trying. She's not messaging me back. Can you tell her for me? And it was just like a back and forth. And she's like, you know what, to be honest, Lex, I don't like that we have to go back and forth about my sister's business. Like, it has nothing to do with me. You know what? You're right. So I'm like constantly just blowing up her sister to the point I even write on her Facebook, on her wall. And I was like, hey, can I get that 30? Can I get the rest of the money? Can I get what you owe me? Hello? She deletes it. And I'm like, oh, bitch. Okay, cool. Time goes on. And I think they think I forget about it. I don't freaking know. But time goes on, okay? Me and my friend are gonna kick it because I'm like, you know what? She's right. It has nothing to do with her. It's just a little bitchy sister. That's cool. That's cool. So me and her are gonna hang out. I have all my kids piled in the car. She has her babies piled in the car, and we go out to the park and we go to Splash Pad. We're having a fun time. It's just me and her chilling. We're him-and-hawing. Don't even bring up the sister's thing. We're just having a good old time. Okay, good old time. It's amazing. It's fun. So I'm making my way back and I'm about to drop her off. My place is 20 minutes away. So I have to drop her off first. So I drop her off, Okay, I drop her off and her mom tells me like, oh, hey, haven't seen you around, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, hey, where's so-and-so? And she's like, oh, you know what? She should be home like in 20-30 minutes. I'm like, okay, cool. So within that time, I'm gonna drop my kids off and then I'll make my way back because I don't want to sit there and wait. The kids are fussy. They want to go to sleep. They want to eat. They want to go to sleep, all that, right? So I take the 20-30 minutes to go home, drop them off, get them all situated, and then I head back. But I head back and I don't even tell my friend like, hey, I'm gonna be heading back, and I don't tell her sister like, hey, I'm on my way. None of that. So I head back and my friend's outside. She's smoking a little cigarette and she's like, oh, what's up, Lex? Like, you forget something? And I was like, no, I just want to hang out a little bit because she didn't know I had a conversation with her mama. And she was like, all right, bet. So me and her are smoking because at the time, yes, I was smoking. Okay, I know it was not good for you. Don't do it. It's disgusting. So I'm smoking with her. And then her sister pulls up. Right away, her sister was all laughing, and as soon as me and her made air contact, she, like if I ruined her day. Like if I ruined her day. Like if I owe her money. Okay? So she gets out of the car and she's with her little boyfriend. I'm like, oh hey. And I'm like, hey, immediately, you have my money yet? Because at this point you have me messed up, and it's been weeks, it's been a month. It's been probably months, but you got me messed up. And so I ask her, I'm like, hey, oh my god, dude, you're so annoying with that. So annoying with that. You acting like you're suffering without it. You're acting like you're suffering without it. And while she's telling me this, she has her freaking pack of beer. She has her little cigarettes, and I'm just like, so do you have it? And she's, no. Does it look like I have it? Does it look like I have? Does it look like I should? And I'm like, I don't know. Do you? Can I have it? And it was so uncomfortable because she's like, yeah, I'll be right back out. As soon as she went in the house, I was like, she's not coming back. She is not coming back. It was so freaking awkward. It's so weird when you have to chase people for money. I just left it at that. Anytime she tried to like hit me up to do like, you know, any makeup for like her friends, try to hit me up for anything. I was like, can't, busy, sorry. Cause that's just weird. When someone doesn't respect you and like your time, your money, And I always have this huge rule of like, don't mix money with friendships and with family, period. I've always said it. There's very, very few who don't get offended when you have to pay them back, which is so fucking weird. It's very rare that people will be able to like separate it. It's very, very rare. Don't do it. If I can give you any advice, do not mix money with friendship and family. Don't do it. It's just, just don't do it. Just don't do it, because it literally will ruin friendships, family ships. It will literally ruin it. So I never got paid. It was awkward. It messed up me and my friend's friendship for a little bit, because it was just so weird, because she'd make her little comments when she would find out like I would do someone's makeup for free, and she'd like, oh, but with my sister it was a big deal, huh? It was a big deal. And it's like, it really sucks when you really have to explain to somebody why you wanted to do this for free. You don't know if they did me a favor. You don't know if they reached out to me and I was having a hard time and they tipped good. You don't know. And I really hate that I always felt like I was the person who always had to over explain myself for doing anything. Like, it literally sucks. Like, it literally just like, it drives me crazy. Like, even when I send like makeup to like family, sometimes there's, oh, well, why did you send so and so this palette and you sent me this? Because so and so actually uses the makeup and she doesn't let it sit there. You just let it sit there and she's gonna put it to use because she wants to build this. She wants to do, like, it's just so weird. Or like, how come you sent so and so perfume but you just sent me makeup? Because so and so likes perfume and I didn't know you like perfume. I thought you just like it. It's just so hard. That's my story time, and it just made me like, now it's so, I'm very, 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 very picky with who I mix business with, because it's very crazy. And I know it's like, oh my gosh, and I have so many more good story times where it's like, oh, it was great and I get paid. But do you guys honestly want to hear those story times where like I get paid and it's like, oh yeah, and that was that? No, you guys want to hear the chisme of like the drama and what happened and you not getting paid? Oh hell no. You want to hear that. You don't want to hear like, oh, and she paid and she tipped you? Yeah, it went great, and she's a returning customer, and you know what I mean. But yeah, that is my story time with my makeup clients. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys have been in a situation when it comes to someone owing you money, or when someone says, oh yeah, I thought you were gonna do the favor for free, and you know damn well it was not supposed to be for free. Let me know down below. I would love to know. I love hearing the bakery ones, especially because I'm just like, they expected you to cook their wedding cake for free. because you do what? Crazy. I feel like a lot of people got nerve, and I just don't know where it comes from, because I wish I had some of that sometimes, because I be lacking the nerve, and people, it's just, I don't know, and I feel like it's just getting crazier and crazier, and I just don't understand it. But I hope you guys enjoyed story time. If you guys did, please make sure to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, like the video if you guys like story times, and I'll see you guys in my next story time. Bye.